Welcome to Little Hamster Crochet. My name is Helena and we are starting a new vlog today. It is the 1st of May today. This year is just flying. The first thing I want to show you, recognize this. If you've seen my previous vlogs or Whip Wednesday shorts or anything, you recognize this freaking sweater. I've been working on this since January, on and off, but still. This is my first ever knit sweater, and I'm using the step-by-step sweater pattern from Handmade by Florence. And just today, I finally finished and cast off the body. So here's what it's looking like. Last time you saw it, it was like here or something. Fun. I've tried it on multiple times. It fits excellent. I ran out of my first cake of yarn about like here. I just did a few rows of the ribbing with the new cake, and that is the Hobby Tea Time yarn in the color Chamomile. But I am loving this. I feel like with the yarn I used, it kind of looks like, it looks a little bit intentional with the stripes, except it's not. It's just happening on its own. I do still have to do the sleeves, obviously, but not today, that's for sure. I will do them at some point, but I am not feeling very motivated right now. I am hoping I don't end up on Sleeve Island and that this just, you know, lays around. But also it's already too hot to wear this most of the time, at least. So it's fine by me if I don't get this done until like August or September. That's fine, really. But yeah, really happy. Well done, me. Other whips. I am working on a fillet crochet whip, but I'm making that into its own video. So you'll have to watch that to find out. Yeah, I think other than that, I don't really have anything that I'm in the middle of working on. I mean, there are other things, okay? Like, remember this? I made this so long ago. I think I finished it at like the very beginning of February? I'm supposed to put a zipper in here. I have the zipper. I have the thread I need. I just have not done that yet, so it just lives on my desk. Maybe that can be a goal for this month. Get this one completely done. But I did have an idea of something that I want to try to make. I'm not sure how it's gonna go, but I've written my little notes and I want to give it a shot. So I think we're gonna move into the living room on my couch so I'm a little comfier, and we're gonna give it a shot. Welcome to my couch. This is very much gonna be trial and error to try to accomplish my vision. I don't have a pattern. They may exist, but I want to do it myself. I have some pink chenille yarn. I have a hair tie, and I want to try to make a scrunchie in the shape of a flower because I think that would be really cute. I think I'm going to try using a 4.5 millimeter and see how that goes. I've tried making just normal scrunchies, but I don't have velvet yarn. I only have chenille yarn, and the chenille yarn that I do have is not really smooth enough. It's a bit too dense, so the ruffles don't really ruffle. I'm just gonna give it a shot. You can't see anything. Is that better? Are you crooked? Maybe. We'll try that. So according to my calculations, I need 29 single crochets. Okay, first snag. This is too many. I can't even fit them all. So let's try doing 24 instead. That looks okay. And then I'm gonna follow the pattern. That did not work. Yeah, that's better. Okay, obviously this is not the size of the petal. Wow, okay. So my math is way off. I wanted 5 petals, but I only got 3. What the heck? Let me redo my math. I have quite literally been at this 4 hours now, and I still haven't figured out how to do it. I got so desperate that I even looked up a pattern, and I don't like it. So I'm gonna have to figure it out. And at this point, I've invested too much time to drop it. So I'm gonna have to make it work somehow. The yarn is getting like torn apart because I've frogged it so many times. But I'm gonna keep going and I'm gonna figure it out. I think I did it. It's relatively flat, which was the main issue. It was really hard to make it not curl up on itself and find the right balance of increases without being too many. But I did it. It doesn't look very good, but that's because I frogged this yarn like 15 times. So I think if I made it with unfrogged yarn, it would look a lot better. I can't really decide if I love it or I hate it. I think it's maybe not for me because I don't have that much hair. So when I put my hair in a bun, it's not really proportionate, I guess. But I got the pattern down, so I can try making another one at some point. Not today. I did it. I made it work. Hey there, good morning. I just got out of bed. I probably should have given it a second before filming, but here I am. So as you saw some snippets of, I crocheted yesterday and I made this little goose, silly goose. This was for my amigurumi alphabet challenge that I'm doing on my social media. And I really didn't feel like talking yesterday. And also my partner was right next to me studying, so I didn't want to be disruptive of that. Here he is. Overall, I'm pretty happy with it. If there's something if I were to do this again, which I couldn't because I did not take a single note of what I did. I completely freehanded this and I have no idea how. If I were to do this again, if I miraculously knew how, I would change the beak because it's too wide. It's more of a duck beak, but a goose beak is a little sharper. So I would have changed that. And my partner actually said when I got to the white part that I should change the beak, and was obviously right, but this yarn is just so horrible to frog that I was just over it. I was like, this is good enough, it's fine. So I should have just changed it. Secondly, at the bottom here, I increased for some reason. I don't know why I did that, but it looks weird. So I probably should have just, kept going straight down. Would have been better. I don't know. And then lastly, the little leggies. They look fine and they, add to the whimsical nature of this, I guess. But I mean, they're not great. They're basically just chain, single crochet back, then in the last chain I made 6 single crochets, turn, go back, and they turn out fine. It's hard to do duck or goose feet, like the webbed feet or whatever, without, in crochet basically in general, but especially in this thicker yarn, because I didn't really want them to be any bigger than this, so I didn't want to add like little toesy woesies or anything. So yeah, that's just what happened. I did finally manage to do some detailing, and I actually like how it looks, which is rare. Usually when I do detailing, I just get so sick of it and then I rip it out. I was inspired by this photo, which is why I didn't put eyes in it, like safety eyes, because I feel like this could be good for a child, for a small child. Just like a little thing to hug, I guess. So I didn't want to put safety eyes in there in case it's for a very small child. And regardless, I think this worked out really well, having like little sleepy eyes. It used so much yarn, which is like the whole point. I want to get rid of my chenille yarn. Oh, also I didn't do the best job in sewing the wings on. I'm not that good at sewing. They're a little, yeah, it's not the best, but they're on there. But yeah, this used so much yarn. But the white skein that I pulled looked pretty much full. So I was really surprised when it started dwindling. And I even thought for a second, am I gonna have enough yarn? I did. So of the yellow yarn, I used 9 grams, but not actually, because I had to try kind of a lot of times to make both the beak and the legs work. So I ended up having to frog a lot. And when you frog this yarn a lot, it just starts falling apart. So I did have to cut out some bits and start over a couple times with the yellow. So it wasn't actually 9 grams probably, but... And then of the white yarn, I used 60 grams, which is crazy, but fantastic. So yeah, I'm happy with it. I did have a moment when I got to like here or something where I was like, oh, what's the difference between a goose and a swan? What if I make this and it looks like a swan? But then I realized that the swans have like the black part. I'm not sure if I want to give this to someone or try and sell it. I mean, I do have a couple babies in my life. Not my babies, thankfully. But yeah, there are a couple babies, so maybe. We'll see. So today is the 3rd, and I'm not really sure what I'm gonna get up to today. Oh, it's raining. That sucks, because I have to go out today. Not entirely sure what I want to do though, which is a recurring theme in my videos. I feel like in every one of my vlogs, I just go, I finished this. I don't know what to do now. Oh, I did order some yarn at the very end of last month. I did want to share with you, just in case you're a straggler from my stash busting days, just in case you care. I currently have 10,459 grams of yarn. Honestly, that's not too bad. I thought I would have more. Obviously, I will have more very soon when my yarn arrives. I'm really tired. I should have waited to film. Sorry. I'm gonna see what happens, and I will let you know what happens. Hello again? Did I talk to you this morning? It's the 3rd. So I did, right? Regardless, I am going to crochet a little basket that I can keep at the office. I'll be using this. This is Hobby Friends Cotton 88 in the color 28. Pretty sure this is called Mustard. I have one full one and like a half, maybe. I don't think I'm gonna use all of this, but we'll see. If you remember, but you probably don't, in December, I think, I used this yarn to make another basket, a much bigger one for my house. So I'm gonna follow, I'm like looking at it. I'm gonna follow the same sort of vibe, same pattern. Basically it's this, again, this texture. I'm gonna make a round bottom and then work up the sides with this, which I tried to Google, and I think it's called either a long single crochet or a deep single crochet. Basically every other single crochet, you go underneath the entire single crochet from the last row, and then a normal one, and then all the way down, and then a normal one all the way down, and you like alternate back and forth. And that makes this really nice texture that I really like. So I'm gonna do that same thing for the basket I'm making now, and also do probably 2 rows at the top of just normal single crochet to top it off. That's what I'm gonna get started on. I am so tired today, so I think I'm just gonna sit in bed and watch some YouTube and crochet. That sounds like a lovely time. I'll be using a 4mm hook. Let's get started. It is Sunday, the 4th of May. Now, my hair is obviously very wet. Ignore that. I finished, as you saw, the little basket yesterday. I think it looks really nice. It's pretty much the perfect size, all good. So I think I mentioned this is gonna go in my office. Not this office, but you know, that office. And it's just to hold like chapstick, tissues, like some of the little stuff that's nice to just have available. So I'll be bringing this in the next time I go to the office. And it did use quite a bit of the yarn. This is all I have left. So I ended up using 64 grams. This right here is just 8 grams left. So this is probably gonna go into maybe some granny squares or something. I don't know. It's just a little bit. So it'll probably be for more of like a scrappy type project. And exciting news, I actually sold a black bandana that I made last month. So I gotta get that shipped out. Reuse, reduce, recycle, folks. So this is part of a hobby bag. I just cut it up to be the right size. I need to ship this off tomorrow because it's Sunday, so everything's closed. But tomorrow, Monday, I can get this done. I don't really know what else I want to do. As per usual, I haven't heard anything about my yarn order yet. I don't know when that's gonna arrive. I'm also in the middle of making a gingham bucket hat that I started. I think I started that in the March vlog. And I ordered more yarn because I ran out. So I ordered more yarn and that's gonna be arriving soon. But the hat is so tiny. I use a 3-weight or a DK weight cotton instead of the 4-weight acrylic that's in the tutorial. So I need to frog like the whole thing pretty much and do some more increases. So I guess that could be a nice like in between to do, just frogging that back. And then I could also do those increases and get back to the point where I run out of yarn. So maybe I'll do that today. That sounds like a good idea. Let's do that. Terrible angle time. I'm on the couch. Yeah, I had to frog back a lot more than I thought. This is what I have right now. Ooh. And this like medium green is the color I ran out of. It's beautiful. It's called Sage, I think. And this is how much of it I frogged. That's like the whole thing, almost. So yeah, that kind of sucks. But I ended up grabbing a hair clip just so it doesn't unravel everywhere because that's so annoying. I'm following Passionate Kelsey's gingham bucket hat. When I did the increases that she has in her video, it was literally this big. It was like a baby hat, okay? So I figured, okay, I need to increase more. And then I increased more and it was too big. It fit me loosely and I have a big ol' head. So I went back again and I added like a more slight increase and it was too small. I even tried it on my partner's normal sized head and it did not fit. So I'm trying again. I don't know what I'm gonna do because I think the time I made it too big, I increased too much. Well, obviously that's what I did, but I don't remember how much I increased when it was too big. Because usually down these ones, you kind of increase at the start of every color change. So you increase here, and then you increase here, and then you increase here, you know? So I might just do that again one more time and see how that looks. But I think you do 2 rows of each color block. So I think I'm gonna try doing only one row, like the first row of the new color block with increases, and then the next row can be just normal. I think I'm gonna try that and we'll see how that goes. Yeah, let's try that. I won't make the whole hat this time before finding out if it fits. My first and I guess second and third try, I do really enjoy making this. I really like the pattern. I just have to figure out how to make it work for me. But once I do, I kind of want to make like a billion of these because they are just so fun. Alright friends, we are back where we started, basically. Out of the sage green yarn. This is how far I got. I'm on the second row of the brim increases. And I wanted to try it on again. I've been trying it on pretty much every single row just to make sure that it fits. And here it is. You can see that. It's... actually no, it's pretty comfortable. I was about to say it was a tiny bit snug on me, but it actually feels pretty good. And obviously there are more rows for the brim. And I usually don't like a super ruffly brim, but I will go ahead. Oh, life with bags. I usually don't like a super ruffly brim, how that looks. But since I'm using a different weight yarn and a different fiber yarn, I am gonna just follow the tutorial first, see how I feel about it, and then I can make alterations if I don't like it, just in case I think it's good. Here it is, thus far. This is what the seam is looking like, I guess. This is where you slip stitch the round closed. It's not too bad. I mean, it's harder to tell in real life. On camera, I feel like you can see it pretty clearly, but it's fine. And I did end up carrying my yarn quite a bit more than what she did in the tutorial. So if you can see, here is the inside. And basically this is the first time, and there's quite a long string right here. Like you can get your finger caught in that very easily, obviously. And then I started carrying it up like this. Now it does kind of look a little bit more messy in a way, but I think that's better than having these like long strings throughout. Yeah, I think that's better. Also, it's kind of easier as you're crocheting and going along to just pick up the new color. In my opinion, it's good so far. I definitely did more of the just plain like down the head rows than the pattern does, but that's because my yarn is smaller. And I ended up doing just one more increase row. I literally just did this, but I can't remember, so had to check. I'm gonna let you know exactly how I changed the pattern once I'm done, because I don't know all of that information yet. But when I do know, I will tell you. But again, my head is pretty large, but I did try it on my partner and it seemed to fit okay on an average sized head. But now I'm at least caught up and it fits, so that's good. And then when I get the yarn in, I can keep going and finish it. Because it would have kind of sucked if I had to, I got the yarn and I'm like, oh, I'm so excited to finish this, but I have to frog the entire thing first. That would have sucked. Glad I did it now. Why do I keep putting it on and messing up my hair? That's the update I have right now. I am thinking about how I ordered a lot of yarn and that I should probably use some before my new yarn gets here. As always, I will let you know when I know. Hey, you like my hat? I do. Today's Monday the 5th. I am gonna go to the mall with my mom in like an hour-ish, and we're gonna be in the car for a little bit. So I want to bring a crochet project. If you hear stuff happening, that's because stuff is happening. There's nothing I can do about it, unfortunately. I have 6 skeins of this, which is Friends Cotton 88 print. This is the color 6. Pretty sure it's called Strawberry Sorbet. And since I have 6 of these, I want to try to make a mesh market bag. And I'm obviously going to use the tutorial on YouTube by Stephanie Z. I am just like other girls. I'm going to get it started before we leave. Now, I haven't looked at the tutorial yet, but I'm guessing it probably uses worsted weight yarn because everything does. This yarn is DK weight, so I'm probably gonna have to size down my hook a little bit, and I'm gonna try to make the bigger size since it's gonna end up a little smaller measurement wise. I have my computer here. Let me just search it up. I was right, the tutorial does use 4 weight yarn and a 5mm hook. Not gonna do that. I'm gonna use the DK, and I think I can get away with a 4.5 probably. So I think that's what I'm gonna do. Now the small bag is 21 chains and the large bag is 31 chains. And it says for the large bag, you will need about 200 to 250 grams of cotton yarn. I mean, I have 300 grams, so that should be fine, I think. Yeah, let's do the big one. I'm gonna get started. Actually, you can't see that, but I feel like I've just started doing the single crochets, and I feel like with the what's it called? The 4.5, it's looking a little bit gappy. And also and I know that when I get to the loop-de-loop part, it's gonna really slow me down to use this hook. So I'm gonna go with the 4mm instead. Oh yeah, I'm already liking that a lot more. It's probably really hard to tell the difference for you, but I can tell. It feels a lot better. Alright, I've done a couple rows of the mesh part. I also ended up doing 7 rows of single crochet at the beginning because I just felt like it. And it's going. It's a really easy pattern so far. And I really love how this color is working up. I thought this light color was a white, but it's actually just a super light pink. And it looks really nice. I think it's gonna end up super cute. Hello again, it is Tuesday now. I did go to the mall yesterday and I did bring this with me, but I literally did like half a row while I was out. But then when I came home, I went ahead and finished up my first skein of this color, and it is looking quite lovely. Yeah, I really like it so far. Definitely a lot more to go. Since this is only one skein, I'm a little bit nervous about how much yarn I have. Let's see. What? I cannot count these rows. I think I have 7 rows, but it's hard to count these, so I think it's 7. So I'm a little nervous since I only have 6 skeins, but we're just gonna see how it goes. After work today, I did something fun. It's yarn time. The packages I get from Hobby are always smaller than I expect based on how much yarn I bought, but this one is pretty heavy. So let me film the start of a reel. I always cut as close as I can to the glue where it was attached so that I can reuse the bag. Alrighty, first off, as always, you know where you love her. This is the yarn, or some of it, that my mom is using to knit me a sweater, and she needed another one yet again. So I got this for her, for me. But that will hopefully actually be the last one this time. But every time she tells me she needs another one, it's just, oh no, I have to buy yarn again. That sucks. And then for the green bucket hat that I'm making, I needed more yarn, and I needed to get the same color, but that specific yarn was not on sale, but I really needed it, like that specific one for the hat. So I did something kind of crazy. Hobby has bulk pricing, So if you get more, you get a bigger discount. I bought 10 of them. Now, these are only 50-gram skeins, okay? They're not that big. It's not that crazy. Also, this is a lovely sage green color. It's called sage. This is one of my favorite colors. I'm gonna use it, okay? This is specifically the Friends Cotton 88 in the color sage. Buying 10 of them made each skein cheaper than the cotton that was on sale. So I think it was worth it, and I will use it because I love this color. So it's specifically for that green hat, and I also want to make a basket that I can keep on my nightstand with like chapstick and stuff, because you can never have enough baskets. Next, I got one singular skein of Friends wool, and that is because I have had a half-finished beanie in this color for probably like 4 months. It's just been lying there. So I finally got another one. Every time I've checked for this yarn, it has been sold out of this specific color. So when it was finally in stock, I grabbed one. I do have some other colors. Whenever I'm talking about yarn and I look over here, it's because my yarn is right there on the shelf. I have black and gray and like a rusty orange. So one hat uses almost 2 skeins. So I'm thinking that it could be nice to do like a scrappy hat with the leftovers, because all those colors go pretty well together. But we'll see. At least I can finish that beanie now, just in time for summer. Next, I have a free envelope. I love when they do this because they don't like actually close the envelope. So now I have a free envelope. It's the little things, okay? So in here, first of all, I have a thing of pins, like sewing pins, and it's just in this nice little tin. I don't sew very often, but last time I did, I was lining a bag, a crochet bag, and I realized I didn't have any pins, or the ones I had just vanished. I looked for like a solid half hour to try to find those pins. They are gone. So I got some new ones for the maybe a couple of times a year I decide to sew something, but it's very hard to sew without them. I also got elastic thread, and I actually used my hobby points on this, so it was free technically. And this is elastic thread, which I'm hoping is, yeah, it's what I think it is. So it's basically just super thin elastic. I bought this because I have a top that doesn't fit me because the basically it's a panel here, and then there are big poofy sleeves, and then right here is an elastic that keeps it up, but that elastic is too long, I guess, so the sleeves don't stay up. But I figured if I just put some elastic thread in there, it'll be tight enough, and then I can actually wear it. I have had that top for literal years, and it's just been sitting in a box, in a fix this box. So maybe I should actually do that now. Lastly, in this Notion envelope, I have a darning mushroom, or as I would call it, stoppesopp. And this is, as you can see, you put it inside whatever you're mending to make it easier. I didn't need this, but I had, I think, 65 kroner to get free shipping, and this was 64. No, 66. It put me right over. So I figured, okay, why not? So those are the Notions. I am a little overwhelmed, not gonna lie. Next, I have Friends Cotton 84, which was on sale. 99% of the time, I only buy things from Hobby if they're on sale, because things are always on sale and the sale cycles are so rapid. Like a sale lasts for like a week and then there's a new one with different things. So it's extremely rare that I buy things full price. But yes, this is Friends Cotton 84 in the color 70. And it's just a really rich dark purple. And that is because I made a rainbow bandana, and when I finished it, I thought, this looks a little small. And that was because I literally forgot 2 rows on the bandana. And instead of like undoing the whole thing and changing up how many rows I do of each color, I just got a dark purple that I can put another couple rows in there. I felt like that made more sense. That's what this is for. And obviously that's gonna use approximately nothing of this yarn, and then I have a bunch left. That's a problem for later. Next, this yarn was on sale again. But the sage green one is Friends, but this one was on sale, and it is Rainbow 88 cotton in the color 08, and it's a dark brown. And yeah, I needed this for a project. These are very hard to tell apart, but I did in fact get 3 skeins of Rainbow in the color 04 for that same project. It is a beige. Are they all 04? Yes, 04. So that's for the same project as the brown. And then, see how similar these are? This is the 04 and this is 03. So I did get 6, I think. They're so hard to tell apart. But I think I got 6 of the 03. These look different though. Is it just the lighting? Maybe. I don't know. I think I got 6 of these. And that is because I want to make a flower vest. So that's what this is for. Oh, I'm also going to use the sage green for that. So, smart moves. Also, for that flower vest, I got these ones, which are color 47. It's called Dark Old Rose, that I do remember. I got 5 of these. So that's going to be the flower color, which I think would look lovely on me. And lastly, I got 1 skein of the Rainbow 88 in the color 02, which is just a tiny bit softer than the true white. And I have 1 skein of this already on my shelf. So I'm gonna combine the 2 of them and I'm gonna make a new bag saver, because the one we have right now, I made probably over a year ago at this point. And it's just really stretched out and it's time for a new one. So last time it took me about 2 skeins. So got another one so I can make that. And that is all the yarn I got. Should we do the thing where we hold it up? I don't think I can do all this. It doesn't look like that much when I hold it like this, does it? That's all I got. It is the end of a very productive day, if you ask me. As you saw, I got right to finishing, or redoing, I guess, that rainbow bandana. So that's all done. And I also finished up this beanie, finally. Turns out I started this in like November, but now it's finally done. And it looks really nice. It's like a fisherman's beanie style. It looks a little bunched up at the top, but it's not when you put it on. Oh no, I just realized these are completely different color lots, aren't they? Oh, that sucks. It's not as noticeable. Actually, it's kind of noticeable. Shit. It looks like this part has been stained. Well, that really sucks. I wish I noticed that before. Why didn't I check that? Anyway, that really sucks. I don't know what to do about that. I think I'm gonna do nothing right now. So let's put the yellower part, this part at the back, just to try it on. Here's what it looks like. It is a really nice pattern. It's a YouTube tutorial from Divine Crochet, and it's a really good pattern. I really like it a lot. A lot of the time I feel like beanies are too long on me, so they like bunch up in the back, but this one doesn't because I made it my own length. And as you can see, it doesn't really bunch up at the top once you wear it, so that's nice. I don't know what to do about the color lot issue though, because you can tell in person too. Let me know what you think. Should I just undo it and make like a half and half beanie with a different color, like a black and white, for example? Because I think this is too noticeable, honestly. Anyway, I did finish it, I guess. So we'll see what I do about that. I haven't done any more on the mesh bag, but that is going to be the next project I focus on, because I feel like this is going to use up the most like full skeins of yarn, and my shelf is overflowing. I'd like to use up some skeins. So next up is going to be to tie this on and keep going. I lied. I just finished this tapestry filet crochet thing. I don't know what's gonna come out first, but maybe you've already seen the video for that. But regardless, it felt so nice to finish something that I've been working on for a long time. So we're gonna finish this freaking bucket hat, okay? And then we're gonna go on to the mesh market bag. Okay, I've completed the brim exactly as the tutorial does. So, looks nice. We're gonna try it on now. I was scared I would think the brim is way too ruffly, but I kind of think it works. My only question is the brim long enough? Because I've seen the one in the tutorial, I feel like the brim is too long and too ruffly. And I feel like if I did more rows, first of all, I would have to do 2 rows to make it a square, or you know, a rectangle at this point. And that would just make it too ruffly, I think. So then I would have to rip back and go back to the increases and do something different. I'm not entirely sure, but I feel like it's long enough. I'm also gonna do a row of single crochet, not that that adds much length. Yeah, I think it's long enough, because if it's much longer than this, like if I did the 2 rows, it would be like in my eyeballs, and you don't want that. So I guess it's done. Yeah, it looks cute, I think. If you disagree, if you think I should have made it longer, let me know. I could always go back and do that. Let me do the single crochets to like finish her off, and then we'll have a final look. I just did a row of single crochet around the edge in the same colors. I like that. I think that kind of gave it just a touch more structure, which I like. And you know, just a teeny tiny bit more length. Yeah, I think this looks good. All right, I'm gonna weave in my ends and then I'm done. Let me explain, okay? I was making this bag, right? And I made it to, I think, about 24 rows. And then I realized I was not gonna have enough yarn to make it all the way to 30. Wait, 40? It was supposed to be 40. There was no way I was doing that. So I was thinking about it and I thought, okay, well, if I just make it shorter, then I folded it up and looked at it, and then it was gonna, obviously it was longer than this, but then it was gonna be so wide compared to the height, and I feel like that was just gonna look goofy. The proportions didn't match up. And then I thought, okay, well, that sucks, because I started with 30, so now what? So I did end up just cutting my losses, and I just thought, you know what, I'm just gonna start over. And I did. These are connected because I'm just using the yarn straight off of this one. So here's the new one, and I thought that maybe the small size would be too small since I'm using a smaller yarn. So I ended up doing what Passionate Kelsey does. So I chained 26, so that makes 25 single crochets across. And I did 6 rows of the single crochet. And then I'm working on the mesh. I think I've done only like 15 rows or something. Yeah. Anyway, I mean, it does fold in half, so it's not actually that long. And then she does 35 rows. So I might see how I feel when I get to around 30, and I will reassess, see how much yarn I have left, and see how big it is and what I'm feeling. Because the straps are gonna take a lot of yarn, I'm thinking. And I think I only have 2 skeins left after I frog this one. I would rather just stop and cut my losses rather than like finish the bag and then run out of yarn or realize I don't like it. So I started over. Here's how it's looking so far. It is color pooling pretty bad. It's making like a plaid pattern almost. You can see that? It has like dark, 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 dark. Okay, that sucks. It's not that noticeable, I guess. I think it's easier to see on camera than it is in real life. I'm gonna keep going. I have, I think, maybe like maybe like 1.5 skeins left in this previous one. Because I checked in when I had 1 skein, and wasn't that like around here or something? I think so. So I have like 1.5 to 2 skeins or something. And this one has used 1.5 maybe. We shall see. I am gonna keep going on this, and I will catch you up when I make some progress. Hello, hello. She cleans up nice, huh? Today is me and my partner's 2-year anniversary, so we are gonna go out to eat. And I'm not gonna crochet today because I'm busy, but also my hands need a break. But I wanted to show you, we almost match. I finished the bag. Here she is. She's big. I got to 25 rows of the loopy loops, and I was like, whoa, this is really big. So I stopped at 25. However, I could have been counting the rows wrong. It's a possibility, but I'm not entirely sure. Also, it's like stripy, and then this is just like polka dots. Don't love that. But yeah, I made it. Sure did. I did 7 rows for the straps, and I actually ended up having like a whole skein and a little bit left. So I don't know what I'm gonna do with that, but I'll figure something out eventually, probably. But yeah, I do not want to make another one of these. It was not a very enjoyable experience. It kind of hurt my hands, and I didn't have that much fun. I will not be making another one because I do have this same Friends or whatever print yarn in yellow colors. No, it's not going to be a bag. I can tell you that much. So I think the end result is good. I just didn't like making it, unfortunately. I'm gonna try to sell this. I'm gonna put it up on my Ko-Fi shop, and we'll see if anybody wants it. Yeah, I don't really have anything else to update you on. Now you can actually see the actual size of my eyeballs instead of them being this big in my glasses. But yeah, I think that's it for now. I don't have any plans on what to do next. I'm not gonna start anything today. Yeah, also this took me so long to make. It took me 5 days. No. I don't have any plans for what to do next. I'm not gonna do anything today. I'm gonna let my hands rest and do other fun things. As per usual, I will just let you know when I do something. Pretty much the 17th of May. What is today? It's my anniversary, I should know. Today is the 11th of May, and on the 17th of May, it is the, what is it called? Like Independence Day or something in Norway. So I'm gonna go to my friend's house and we're gonna do some fun stuff and eat some ice cream probably. I did want to wear my bunad, which is the national, what are these things called? It's like our cultural dress, I guess. So unfortunately I cannot show you that because I'm not gonna wear it. But yeah, I'll catch up when something happens. Hey friends, long time no see. It is the 16th of May and I have been so busy running around. And I actually kind of have to leave like right now, but I wanted to check in with you. I didn't crochet anything until yesterday. And that was probably because my wrists kind of hurt, and mostly because me and my partner were playing Bellwright, which is a very fun game. And we have been enjoying that game a lot. So that's, I've been doing that. I've been going around. I was in a hospital waiting room yesterday, so I started a bucket hat, and I did finish that up last night, and it looks really nice. I'm happy with it. I recently sold a bucket hat, so I figured I would replenish and make a new one. Oh, and while I didn't crochet, I did finally put a zipper in that pouch that I made in February or something. It's my first time hand sewing a zipper in general. I have used zippers before, but I've sewn them on a machine. So that was a new experience. I think it went okay. It's a little questionable at the ends. I found it hard to like line up where it would be best to sew it on. But yeah, I did that. And then with the leftovers from the bucket hat yesterday, I did start a couple of granny squares. I have never made a granny square tote bag, and I have a lot of like small bits of yarn that I can put together into some random granny squares. So I brought a whole bunch of my scraps, but also some colors that I know I'm probably not gonna use. Like I have one skein of blue. I'm not gonna use that. These birds are chirping real loud. The weather has been so nice, which I enjoy, and it's gonna keep being nice. And I am gonna go drive to my friend's house, so I gotta get going. And then I'll be celebrating the 17th of May there. And maybe I'll try showing you some of that. We will see. It's kind of hard when I'm so busy to get things rolling, you know. But regardless, I will talk to you later, swear to God. And I will let you know if I start anything new. I'll probably be working on the granny squares this weekend, I think. But if I do anything else, I'll try to let you know about it. I will talk to you later. Hey, it is the 20th of May. Oops. Last week was just so incredibly busy. Hopefully I think I filmed something, so hopefully I got to show you something from the 17th of May. I have just been so busy, and today I extracted a wisdom tooth. So, fun. I feel like you see all those videos of people extracting wisdom teeth and they're like super loopy and funny. We don't do that here. They numbed it and then they pulled it out. We Norwegians are we're tough Vikings, I guess. In addition to being super busy and not really filming anything, I also haven't been crocheting that much. I did make some granny squares while I was at my friend's this weekend, so I will show them to you. This one might be my favorite because the colors just kind of make sense. This one's also nice though. I basically used up all the scraps I had, or like the tiny amounts of yarn. And then I did dip into some skeins that I just know I'm not really gonna use. But I'm kind of running out of options for colors and I don't have I don't really have any lighter shades in the mix. I kind of use all those up. Like this one is pretty dark already, so if you remove this light green, then it's gonna be very dark. I'm kind of putting this on pause, I think. There's no rush on this. Also, this is gonna be super fun to weave in. But yeah, there's no rush on this. It's just like a for fun project. So I think I'm gonna wait probably until I have some more scraps or very small quantities, and then we'll see. I do have some like scraps that would make probably like 2 double crochets, but I want every row to be one color. That's kind of on hold for now. Yeah, I really wish I did this as I went. Oh well. And other than that, I showed you the bucket hat I made. That's up for sale on my Ko-fi. It was pretty perfect because I had 1 skein of that brown and I had 1 skein of the cream. And one of those bucket hats take 2 skeins, pretty much exactly. That was a good use of that yarn, I think. You can probably tell I'm pretty tired because I have a gaping hole in my mouth. I'm tired. My mouth tastes like blood. That might be too much information. So I'm probably just gonna play some games and just relax today. And if I do start something, I'll tell you about it. While I've been talking right now, the pain has just been, which is why my energy just went. Anyway, I'm just gonna chill, take some painkillers, and I'll talk to you later. Hey, it's the 26th. Oops. I have no excuse, I guess. Basically, my mouth hurt and I was playing a lot of Bellrite. So, I have been crocheting like a couple stitches while like crafting stuff in the game. I haven't been doing a ton of stuff, crochet wise. Also generally. Also my mouth hurt and I really didn't feel like filming. The last clip you saw, I have a feeling, wasn't very entertaining because I was in pain and so tired. I basically had a nap every day this week. But in the last couple days maybe, I have been crocheting. I'm working on a t-shirt, this guy. Now, if you haven't seen my previous videos, you haven't seen the lore of this, so I'm going to share. Basically, I started this t-shirt in December, which is an odd time to start a t-shirt, I'm aware. I pretty much almost finished the body of the t-shirt before I realized that my raglan increases were skewed out of this world. Okay, the raglan went like this almost. That's not how it's supposed to look. So I frogged the whole thing, which is why I am now working from cakes. So I frogged it, restarted, got like not that far, maybe like 5 rows in or something, and then I realized the way I was turning my rows, because I decided to turn my rows because that fixes the skewing, I hoped. So I tried one way and it didn't really look good, so I had to frog it again, and then I did kind of like a different method for turning it and now it looks better. So this is now my 3rd attempt at making this t-shirt, and I think it's going okay. But that's only part of the reason why this t-shirt is so cursed, because this t-shirt is what I was working on when I got tendinitis in my wrist. So yeah, and then after I got better and started crocheting again, basically like half a row of this t-shirt would hurt my hand. Anyway, this t-shirt is just fucking cursed. But I have been working on it because it's been a whip now for, what, like 6 months? And I want to finish it and I want to wear it, and I think it's going to turn out really cute. But at least looking at it now, I think the raglan is straight. This looks huge. Did I do too many rows? Do I have to frock again? Please no. But I'm at the point where I have to try it on. Because I want it to be, I don't want it to be form-fitting, but I also don't want it to be very oversized. I want it to be kind of like a loose fit, I guess. So I need to make sure that it's not too tight over the chest. Well, that seems okay actually. And then I'll chain a little bit under the arms. Yeah, I think I'm actually ready to divide up for the body and the sleeves. The neckline, when I bring my arms up, the neckline bunches a little bit. That's probably just because it's not connected yet. So I'm gonna divide off for the sleeves now, do the body. I think I want it to be like a normal length t-shirt, but I'll see how it fits over my hips because I don't want it to be tight over my hips because I don't like that. And then for the sleeves, I might do like a little bit more on the sleeves and then like finishing off with single crochet around edges and stuff. It's gonna look really nice. I'm excited. If I have to frog this again, I'm gonna lose my mind. But it looks good, right? Right? Yeah, I think it looks good and like even and stuff. That's that, I guess. But I've been working on this pretty slow and like not too much at a time because I don't want to hurt my wrist again. But at least I'm working on it and it's not just sitting there. The yarn I'm using is the Hobby Olivine. I don't know. It is, I think it's a 2-weight and it's like cotton and linen or something. I'm sorry. Hold on, let me actually go get the yarn so I can show you. Here she is. Ignore my nails, my nail polish is chipping off and I don't want to fix it. So yes, this is the color 8. I don't know. It is, yes, it's a 2-weight. It is 50% cotton and 50% linen. 50-gram donut, is that what this is called? And it calls for a 3.5mm hook. Now, it might be the hook or the yarn that's causing issues with my hands and wrists, but I don't know which because I don't really use weight 2 yarn, and I don't think I've ever used a 3.5mm for a project before. So it could be one of those. Or maybe it's the construction that I'm like sitting weird when I make it or something. I don't know. But yeah, there it is. So small. But because I frogged this 15 times, this is my second cake. I divided it into 2 because it wouldn't fit on my yarn winder. And I am blasting through this yarn. When I frogged it the first time, I had gone through, I think like 4.5 skeins, which means that this and this equals 5 skeins. That's kind of crazy to me, but okay. So I've probably used 4-ish skeins in this already. I do have 5 more unopened skeins, so I think we're gonna be fine. I have the yarn. It perfectly fits in the yarn bowl that my mom made for me. I am going to split off for sleeves, body stuff, and I'll let you know if I have any more updates. If I finish the t-shirt, no, that's probably not gonna happen. But if I finish or start something else, you'll know when I know. See ya. Excuse the hair, I don't know what my bangs are doing today. It is the 30th of May today, and well, first off, here's my progress on the t-shirt. I've connected the sleeves and I've done like 4 rows or something. Let me try it on for you. Here it is. I think it looks really nice, but it's pretty oversized. It's pretty big. And I didn't really want it to be this oversized. Like it's bigger than the t-shirt I'm currently wearing, which is very oversized. Not very, but it's oversized. And it's bigger than my t-shirt. So I think I might frog and do less. Yeah, I'll probably go back and frog one row of the yoke and then connect. And I chained 8 in between here. I could probably do less than that. I could probably do like 5. I'm gonna go back again and hopefully 4th time's the charm. But I have decided you're not gonna see that anyway, and I have no plans of starting anything new right now, so I think we're just gonna call it here. I still have tonight and tomorrow, but tonight I'm basically just gonna be playing Bellwright and probably most of tomorrow too. Sorry. Kind of unsatisfying to not see the finished product, I guess. But there's no way I could have finished it today or tomorrow anyway. I think that's what we're gonna call it. I basically did a ton of crochet at the start of the month and then almost none for the rest of it. So I hope you enjoyed this video. Thank you so much for watching it. It means the world to me. Make sure you like this video, subscribe to my channel so you don't miss out on the finished product of that t-shirt, and leave me a comment with the favorite thing that you made in May. I would love to know. With that, I'm gonna go continue my hyperfixation of Bellwright, and I will see you in my next video. Bye!